Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. So, CBI absolves NDTV's Pranay Roy and his wife of all the crimes committed in NDTV. Can you believe this? I wrote a book that went on to become a bestseller about all the crimes committed in terms of white collar crimes committed in this particular saga. The money came from one of the Western countries into India through multiple countries, multiple shell corporations, eventually all of them magically ending up at NDTV. And then once, when the first initial crime was caught, the money went back. And coincidentally, the amount of money that came in and went back was $150 million. Why I'm saying coincidentally is because there was another deal that another American company was trying to do in India. This company had no expertise in building electric engines, and yet they were bidding for an electric engine factory. Go figure. How is that possible, right? I mean, I am a software programmer and I want to build a car factory in India. I'm a very successful software programmer. I've made a lot of money. So somehow I have acquired expertise to do what is needed to build a car. Yeah, I'm not Elon Musk, though. I'm still, but the point I'm trying to make is this was supposed to be a 150 million kickback for a certain individual if that deal came through. Fortunately for India, the bureaucrats figured out that the company that was bidding for the electric engine did not have the expertise, and therefore the deal got rejected. Well, the money had already been sent into India. It had to go back, right? Is this what happened? Well, the people involved in this will never open their mouths because they are laughing their way to the bank. Even today, even though I have written this book, NDTV, and I'm not sad, I'm still smiling. This is the irony of India. This is the irony of people who are willing to get emotional over things rather than look at the hard, plain facts. When the Adani story broke out a few days ago, I was smiling. You guys were all jumping up and down saying, how dare you smile at this? See, the thing here is, who did Pranay Roy sell this to? Adani. So what exactly is going on? Till someone explain to me, how is it that suddenly Adani wants to make sure that whatever happened in a deal in which he acquired the money or he acquired the company be clean? Is that what it is? I don't know, guys. I'm a little confused too. The two seem unrelated, but the timing seems very suspicious. Let me tell you, as this case was going through the courts, what happened over the period 2010 to 2013. We have captured this by way of a infographic. By the way, I would say about 100 articles came about NDTV frauds in PGurus. In fact, that's what made our name, that we became good at investigative journalism. I think it came right after Augusta Westland. So, a series of hits during that time. And when I saw that the Modi government, even though these guys were, had a visceral hatred for Chota Bhai and Mota Bhai, or I should say Modi Bhai and Mota Bhai, yet they have allowed them to escape. Hardly a slap on the wrist. What gives? What exactly is going on in India? Well, I like Anand Iyer's comment, the law is an ass. It's not even that, it's worse than this. The whistleblower in the IRS who caught them with their hand in the cookie jar, that is caught Adani, not Adani, the Roys with their hand in the cookie jar, that man got fired. My good friend Sanjay Srivastava, he's now, rediscovering himself as a lawyer. And he's still fighting his case in the court. I mean, the irony is dying 1,000 deaths here, probably 1,001 deaths. Because if I see the amount of data that was there, look at this, December 2010, the Sunday Guardian, in an article written by Prayag Akbar with Ram Jethmalani said that on July 21, 2009, the Roys took a loan of 350 crores from Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Industries through a subsidiary 𝗣𝗚𝗃𝗃 for divesting significant stock in NDTV into RRPR, making it own 26% of the company. Then control of RRPR was effectively handed over to 𝗣𝗚𝗃𝗃. This is another big Goodal. Goodal means like Ghotala. It sounds very similar. And how this loan of 350 crores was taken, and in exchange they gave 26% of the company. And also, if you look at the actual transfer, right, there is a public value of a share of NDTV in the market, and yet the price at which the transfers took place was laughable. 126 rupees a share in the market, 4 rupees a share in a transaction. And in March 2013, minority shareholders Sanjay Dutt and Sanjay Jain of Quantum Securities Private Limited complained to SEBI. Dutt wrote that Reliance Industries had clandestinely acquired control of NDTV through its zero-employee subsidiary 𝗣𝗚𝗃𝗃 in July 2009, working in concert with 𝙒𝙭𝙭 violating SEBI and INB norms, Information and Broadcasting Norms, 2013. Then in 2017 February, my book came out. The book NDTV Frauds detailed how stock trades with a price differential of over 98% from market price generated illegal hawala gains for the Roys. This enabled them to siphon 𝗣𝗚𝗃𝗃 money into personal accounts in 2017. Taking cognizance of relentless PGurus.com campaign, CBI registers FIR against Roys and RRPR. Enforcement Directorate registers a PMLA case in August 2017. This is my work, PGurus' work. I mean, at that time, we didn't have a channel. We didn't have a YouTube channel. If it was there, by now I would probably be around 2-3 million subscribers. At that time, we were completely focused on putting out stories. I mean, investigative journalism takes a lot of time. By the way, my book, NDTV Frauds, is a very small book, only 90 pages or 100 pages. I mean, it's total of 150 pages, but the second half is essentially income tax findings. And the first half, it just translates the income tax language into a language that common man can understand, and also the trail of money, how money came in and how it went out. And in 2018 June, SEBI rules that 𝗣𝗚𝗃𝗃 should pay interest at the rate of 10% per annum to the shareholders who were holding shares on the date of violation. It happened in 2009, so one can roughly say that the shareholders will get about 100%, that is 10% times 10 years, by way of interest payments on the then applicable price of rupees 214.65 per share. I mean, we had this ridiculous situation at one point of time when these guys, NDTV didn't want to pay a dime, and I don't think it paid a dime to anybody. Not a dime paid to income tax, not a dime paid to Enforcement Directorate for PMLA violations, not a dime, of course. They didn't pay for ED and income tax. There's a question of paying anything to CBI. Now they are walking free. So this, I think, tells me, I mean, you guys can agree with me or not agree with me. Like I'm saying, I'm still smiling. Why am I smiling even though all my work has gone down the proverbial drain? The reason I'm smiling is because people, all of us, somehow get emotionally involved with our leaders, with our system, and don't look at the data. The data is pointing in one direction and people are trying to make you look in another direction. And sure enough, 99% of the people look in the other direction. I'm not at all, upset about this. All I'm saying is, oh, well, now if CBI doesn't have a case, clearly ED also will quietly close theirs also. All this is happening because somebody is CYA. What it is, well, it's American parlance, covering your ass. That's what I think. And also you must ask yourself this question. Where was Adani 20 years ago, before Modi became the Chief Minister of Gujarat? What is the coincidence between Adani's meteoric rise and rise of Modi, the leader, who went on to become the prime minister that he is today. Has anyone thought about this? In 2014, when he was doing campaigning, the Chai Pe Charcha, all that, Chai Pe Charcha was a very clever campaign, because they had these holograms where every speech that Modi gave, these holograms about I think about 18 inches or 30 inches of Modi will be saying the same thing in different corners of the country. The first time we were using hologram to make the same speeches come, it's as if Modi was himself there in all these small Jhopatpatti areas where they had these things installed. It was Prashant Kishore's campaign. And every day, that whatever 30 days grueling campaign that you have, every day Modi would leave Gandhinagar in Gujarat, go to a place, address the campaign, maybe 2 or 3 campaigns, but at the end of the day he'll come back to Gandhinagar. Did anyone wonder how he was spending that money? Was it the BJP party that was spending that money? Or was it a certain individual who goes by the name Gautam Adani? Which airplane did he take to come take the oath of the Prime Minister from Gandhinagar to Delhi? Look, this is plain black and white. There is something more going on than meets the eye, I think. And I can only tell you that I see something funny. And I mean, this coincidence is remarkable, that CBI finds nothing wrong in this case, and that everything is closed now. The reason I was very hopeful of NDTV was because these guys were the trendsetters for how funny money came into media in India. Any language, any channel. I mean, today, if you start surfing your TV through your cable box, right, it will take you a full half an hour before you come back to the original point. That's how many channels we have. And I'll bet my bottom dollar that NDTV had the template down and everybody copied it. Once in a while, you have 1 or 2 occurrences where they are caught and jailed, like Kalaignar TV and Kanimozhi went to jail, Raja went to jail for the 2G scam. But by and large, nobody is walking into the jail. The Roys are downright scoundrels. And this, I don't want to use bad words. I mean, he's walking into the sunset now, enjoying his life somewhere outside India. He doesn't have to deal with it. And now, why do we think that NDTV is suddenly being cleansed? Because Adani needs somebody, some mouthpiece to go and tell across the world how clean Adani Energy is, how he is being, victimized in a court in New York. Yeah, it is a strategy, all right. I'm not saying it is right or wrong. But what I'm saying is, weren't you all convinced that NDTV had committed financial crimes? I mean, we had, every second day we had an article about this in 2017 to 2019 time period. Until when I saw that the FIR being written by CBI, well, let's not go in there. I mean, we have some real fundamental cracks in our, bad things in our system. Do you know that IPS officers don't write the FIRs? It's somebody like a sub-inspector has to write it, and that sub-inspector is probably on deputation into CBI from Almora in UP. He will be good in Hindi, but he can't write in English. I see how this is, where I'm going with this. We knew, even as the charges were being framed, that this is going to go nowhere, because it was being made to fail. At that time, the Roy's NDTV had the powerful patronage of Arun Jaitley, and so they were sure that nothing would come to them, and nothing did. Even though he is gone 5 years ago, still the group of Modi and Shah have done nothing. And do you think they are going to drive out aliens from India? Do you think they are going to cleanse anything? Well, dream on. That's all I can say. And God save India, guys. That's all I can say. And the case in the Eastern District of New York looks very interesting. All I can say is that there is something there happening. 4 countries now have walked away from it. The case, first of all, Kenya has moved away. Sri Lanka is going to move away, and France, Total Energy has said that we are going to pause our future investment with Adani. Bangladesh is making a lot of noises. Although in that case, I fall with Adani that he should not give power to Bangladesh. Pay your bills first, then we will talk. See how all these things are crisscrossing? I mean, my head is exploding. Do I support Adani because he's not giving power to Bangladesh? Or do I say Adani has something to explain here in this case in New York? Or he gets to gain now that NDTV is now suddenly pure as driven snow? It just blows my mind when I see how we have messed up our systems. Completely messed up our systems. Completely messed up our systems. And there is no recourse anymore. I mean, people will go move on. Tomorrow is going to be history. Nobody is going to bother about it. And NDTV will suddenly have Adani and Om Adaniya Namaha, Om Modiya Namaha, Om Amit Shah Namaha. That's all will happen there. I mean, I don't know. I don't watch TV anymore. I have enough news coming on in other ways, so I don't need to watch TV. I mean, I feel, thank God, I don't have to do that. So whatever it is, today we are looking at what you are going to get in the next 4 or 5 years. I'm sorry to say this. I'm not really hopeful that any good reforms are going to come out of this. Even the Waqf amendment, by the time they weaken, they pass it, the thing will be so weakened that will be back to where you are. And these things will be quiet for 6 months or maybe a year, and then they'll be back to what they are doing. India doesn't have the spine. Politically, India doesn't have the spine to enact strong reforms. I'd be really surprised. Even CAA, something that was very gentle, was not put into effect for 3-4 years. Why? Who stopped you from doing it? It had passed the assembly. It had passed the parliament. It had passed the Rajya Sabha also. Why did you not enact it? Why didn't you write the rules? So look, what you are seeing outside and what is happening inside are two different things. And sometimes I'm always reminded of what Arun Shourie said, that BJP is equal to INC or Congress plus cow. That's all I have to say today. Let me take a few questions. Let's see what people have asking. I will try and answer these questions. Let me see. I'm going to do an episode on your views on the Israel-Hezbollah ceasefire. Not in the Gita ji, I don't think I'm going to do anything. We'll wait for a second. We'll come back on that one. Rahul Basu says, what is our country doing? Arey, out of syllabus, don't ask me questions. Let me see if there's anything on NDTV. We'll take this up at the appropriate time. Let's see. Just keep shouting Modi, Modi with Sumit Peer. Gremlins are ubiquitous. Don't you celebrate BJP's victory? You know, Datta Gupta says, didn't you celebrate BJP's victory in Maharashtra? Yeah, I celebrated. Of all the bad choices, BJP is the least bad choice. What do you want me to say? Ajay Singh, Sree, you should be more objective than biased. The whole book, have you read NDTV Frauds? Ajay, just you can answer. I mean, we are going to be on for some more time. Can you tell me if you have read the book, NDTV Frauds? Like I said, it was an income tax assessment report that was in income tax language, which is difficult for a common man to understand. All I and my research team did was to simplify the language and use some graphics to tell you what was the scam. That's it. And then, sir, there is no place for morality in politics. It's all about staying in power. I think we are only to take solace from the fact that bad karma meets its fate someday. Thought. 𝗣𝗚𝗍 𝗢𝘶, it should be made into a movie. Good suggestion. But then you will all know the ending. How will I sell the movie? How will I make you to come to the theater? Just going through all your questions. Eknishtha Bharatiya, looks like you have lost faith in BJP as well now. What leaders should we trust? Well, I will give you a few names that you may want to trust, but I don't know how long they will be what they are today when they ascend to power. Narayan Swami Ramanathan wants to know, is Modi afraid of global reputation? I don't know. I really don't know. It was a black and white crime. 𝗣𝗚𝗍𝙑 𝗬𝘶 wants to know, the NDTV fraud should be on Christmas list for books to read. It's absolutely worth it now. Makes so much sense. It's just a very, very small book, only 90 pages. Because the crime itself is laundering money primarily, and then opening a lot of shell companies and then closing them. And avenues will open, money will flow through, and then avenues will close. And it took a fair amount of digging into it to get all the data. Gaurav Acharya says, tomorrow CBI will say SSR committed suicide probably. Look, I wrote a book also on that. Who killed SSR? So this is where things stand. This is a good question. Magnet Ranga wants to know, why just NDTV? So there are a plethora of skeletons in Congress cupboard that are being left alone by BJP. Wonder why? I know, I also wonder why. Okay, here's another one. Contractor wants to know, do you think that this happens only in India? Don't you feel this is happening everywhere in the West? Absolutely, I agree with you. Contractor G, I don't know what your real name is, but I completely agree with you. The law has gone, somewhere. I really don't know. Joshua Chime says, I read your book. I agree it was black and white. However, now NDTV goes scot-free. What next? Well, one of the things that I did do, I think NDTV frauds, I think I did translate this into Hindi also. What needs to change? I mean, I'll tell you this, and you'll say, oh, here he goes again. We have to develop that reading habit. Maybe before you go to bed, set aside like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Because why you need to do that is then you'll read something and then you have to let the brain process it, what you have read. And that gives you the perspective. A book actually opens your eyes to many things. You are not going anywhere, but the way it is described in the book will help you enjoy the scenery more. Although today we are seeing web series, we don't mind spending 8 hours to watch a web series of a book which will only take you 4 hours. You get what I'm saying, right? Why? Because that visual experience is more enriching. We like that. We like the drama that goes with it, the tapestry, what have you. But then not every book goes on to become a movie, especially when vested interests are at play. What can I say? Audible is a great thing because you can listen to it while you are driving to office. Very true. Kiran Annaya wants to know, but maybe there was something incriminating about many others that NDTV had information on. They couldn't have done it without political support. Well, Kiran, remember Amit Shah and Modi were not insiders in Delhi. They were outside. They were from Gujarat. They came in with a clean slate, right? Don't you think so? Star Spectrum 6454. Sense of complicity have taken a toll already on the polity now, completely bereft of aura and charisma. Call now close on heels of Aam Janta Janardhan, Shoshan Kartas and Bharat and World. Now, this is where things stop. I mean, I think I have answered most of the questions or looked at many of the stuff that has been on there here. And all I can say, viewers, is my head tells me don't lose hope. Somewhere people will get caught. But this was an easy one. Because like I said, we scream about the partiality of the television, right, today. This would have fixed a lot of other channels, especially in states like Tamil Nadu. It's the worst medium. Television, print media, and even YouTube channels and other social media is so biased and one-sided that this would have fixed that also. And yet, interestingly, the Information and Broadcasting Ministry is from Tamil Nadu, one of the most targeted people by the very government that he should have shut down. Heck, the person who went on to become Vice President, 𝗣𝗂𝘗𝘶 Naidu, could not turn NDTV's transmission off for 24 hours because it was proved that they were indulging in anti-national activity. Gives you something to think about, right? I mean, everybody, we can all say, oh, the system is rotten, this, that. But somewhere we need to start getting intelligent, so we ward off some of these things from even happening. Well, if you follow PGurus, I'll have some thoughts on this, because many of the people who are coming on PGurus these days have that intellectual depth to go with, look at things in a way where the system itself becomes better. Hopefully that happens very soon, and I really like it that you guys are participating by way of so many comments. Even after the live chat ends, live session ends, a lot of people give good comments, and thank you so much for this. This is the reality, viewers, and what can I say? Bharat Mata ki Jai. Namaskar.